we made it through April without being in the 90s, but not through May. So that means it's time to bust out the solar shades. The sheep don't have an open air place where it's shaded unless they're out grazing, so they got theirs first. Next was the chicken coop. I can open all the windows. We usually get north and south winds, so these are the two most important, but I do have them on the east and west as well. Right here and back there. While we're here at the chicken coop, I have another surprise for you. I got some new chickens. Now, I'm not sure how old they are, but they're fully feathered so they don't need any additional heat. The bigger three are olive eggers. They have a dark green egg, and you saw that one peck the little white one. That one and the other two small ones are Americanas. I've had them before. Usually they have kind of a blue colored egg. I just wanted some different colors of eggs. Again, because we only have one at the house that'll give us a green egg. I just decided to let these three out with the masses. The chickens have to find an order. It just has to happen. So they may get a little beat up on, but they're doing okay. But they're kind of beaten up on my Americanas in here. So a little more comfortable in here. I gotta get their water cleaned out. I'll be doing that. Anyway, back to the shade claws. The pigs need shade too, especially in the heat. And these piglets didn't have a way to get to the trampolines that we normally use for the adult pigs. We've seen a lot of mermoos lately. They spend a lot of their time in the water, especially when it just starts heating up. It's been so humid because we got so much rain this year. There's plenty of mermoos in there. They're having a good old time in that cool water. We had a litter of 8 piglets that we were growing out. They were born last July, and it is finally time to take them to the processor. This is us just setting up a chute to get them into the trailer, which is the most nerve-wracking part. We have a time we have to drop off, a 2-hour window. The place is over an hour away, so we made sure this time to give us enough time in the morning to get them loaded. It didn't go exactly as planned, but this part went fairly well. I think it hit me in the shin right there. Maybe the toe. I don't know. This part was important too. We had to be able to shut that gate in a hurry. We couldn't have them go behind or under the gate. We needed to get them right on the trailer and get them shut in before they could decide that they didn't want to be there. A lot of times I get the comment, how can you do that? I could never do that. I could never raise a baby animal and then send them off to slaughter to eat. Or they just flat out insult me and say, oh, I love animals, I could never do that. Are you kidding me? Are you insinuating that we hate animals? Because we do a lot of work through blood, sweat, tears, rain, heat, freezing temperatures. I understand what you're saying. But just know, these are not dogs, they're pigs, they're meat, they're given the best life we could give them. In fact, Derek will stop at the grocery store if we're getting low on apples and make sure his pigs have treats daily. It's also one of the good things about buying direct from a farmer. You can see how they're treated here. We don't hide anything behind the camera. We don't report every time one of them gets sick, but they always get medical care from us or the vet, and we take care of them to the best of our abilities, and when it's over, it's very quick and they don't know what happened. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. Now, one of these pigs we kept as a breeder. Her name is Helga. She's being bred right now.
Oh, they're coming off.
Another one is smaller. He's off to the right, sniffing that red thing. That one is one we were going to keep for a pig roast because he's small, and the other one, because he's so big, was going to be a customer's. But he had other plans. We need to close that inner gate. Hey, come on. Hey, come on, come on, come on. Okay, this is half, so... Don't worry, if you're a customer, you got the biggest pigs on there. We took all the rest that were pretty similarly sized anyway. But we're making sample packs, so if you're interested in a sample pack and you live where you can come pick it up locally, or if we have enough orders in the Metroplex, we might make a drop-off day. Email us in the email provided in the description of this video below if you're interested. The baby goats have been vaccinated, pre-treated for coccidiosis, and weaned, and they are ready to go to their new homes. All of our stock is registered through two organizations, American Dairy Goat Association and American Goat Society. We used to sell all these registered goats online. Now with the market kind of flooded and the economy in the state it is, we went to Canton Trade Days. Across the road from the main sale is the dog alley portion. There are tons of dogs and cats, but a lot of farm animals are sold there too. I can say this, I have never sold to anybody who wasn't absolutely in love with these baby goats, and I probably wouldn't if I encountered one. So I have no doubt that they've gone to good homes. It is a little bit harder getting rid of the babies because they're so cute, but it's bittersweet because we can now focus on our breeding herd, get them back into shape after having nursed for a long time. They just need more of the attention. It's the same deal with the pigs. This is Lucy, but we have downsized to only 1 litter of piglets. We're about to get down to only the 3 we're going to keep and grow out. Of course, our breeding stock stays. If you're new to the channel, you should probably just subscribe by now and give it a thumbs up. Mavis, our turkey hen, had been sitting on 5 eggs, and I kept going over to listen for little peeps. But when she got up, they had been crushed. For I don't know how long. She had just been sitting on crushed eggs, so I was pretty disappointed. Mavis and Dennis had been housed together this year during the breeding season because 2 toms and a hen, it just doesn't work out very well. They almost killed her a couple years ago. After I found out the eggs were crushed, I decided to try to reunite them, and I knew they'd fight. I knew they had to fight it out. I kept an eye on them, kept looking over at them to make sure they weren't killing each other. They've lived together for 3 years, all 3 of them. This is the first time I've had them split apart for a long time. But I saw feathers on the ground, and I found Drac under the truck. So I grabbed Dennis, put him in his house, and took care of Drac. He was in a submissive position. He was out of breath, so I gave him some water, and like 3 minutes later, he was acting like nothing happened. I went over to the pen where Dennis was to try to fight him through the fence. So I'm not sure they can ever be reunited again. I don't know. I'll try it again, but that was a little scary. Don't get me wrong, I love the rain, but we have gotten so much of it this season. It makes it hard to check on the cattle. This is when we caught them near the gate, and we just fed them right here because it's so wet out there. We'd get stuck. Now she doesn't look as bagged up. Sally's the main one of concern because she's a first-time mom. Bonnie will also be a first-time mom, and I was noticing she looks like she dropped a little bit. 80% of the growth of a calf is in the last 2 months, so she could just be in those last 2 months, or it could be my imagination. I really can't wait to see what her calf looks like. I'm really excited about hers because I like Bonnie. She just came up running over thinking that they're gonna get fed. She's a pretty good sized calf. The cows at the farm are pretty spoiled too. Carne Asada is used to getting fed every day because he was grain fed as a show steer. But Lucy thinks she just needs food every day, even though there's plenty of grass out there. The pigs are taking full advantage of the rain. I'm glad we have this little river for them, but it sure is messing with our fence. Water takes the path of least resistance. Some of this is probably from them walking the fence line, and it just cut it even deeper. It's a really cool seasonal river. Actually, I wish we had it in the summertime, but it's getting a little deep right there. Suction to my foot. I'm still working on part 2 of my greenhouse video. It'll probably be next Sunday. This is a little bit leftover rock from a project we had in the greenhouse, and we decided to put it here just so that transition up to the barn on that concrete would be a little smoother because the John Deere hits it a lot. It also gets real muddy here because the cows like to use the barn as kind of a wind block and to get out of the rain a little bit. But they churn it up and it's just muddy there. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe. I upload most Sundays and you can keep watching us grow our farm. Have a good one.